You did it. The fat's gone. The belt's on a tighter hole, and maybe someone at work has mentioned it. But there's this question that just won't leave you alone. What if I just gain it all back? My name's Adam, I'm a performance nutritionist, and over the last decade, I've helped over 200 men lose fat and keep it off. What I want to talk to you about today isn't how to lose weight. It's what happens after. The transition that most people skip, and why skipping it is almost always the reason it comes straight back. I had a client, let's call him Mark. He'd lost the same 30 pounds 3 times. And every time he hit his goal weight, he regained it. When we first spoke, he was convinced his body had turned against him, like his metabolism was broken, like it was just punishing him for dieting. And I get it. That's exactly how it feels when you've done everything right. You've got the result, but now you're losing it. And when we actually look at what happened after each diet, it was the same thing every time. He'd hit the number, relax, and go back to eating how he used to. Just pretty much all the same habits. His metabolism wasn't a problem. It was the plan after the diet. And the research shows that the metabolic drop from losing around 26 pounds is about 50 calories a day. That's less than a biscuit. Yes, your body does adapt when you diet, but it adapts in both directions. When you bring calories back up, move more, and expenditure comes back up with it. The damage isn't permanent, and most of the time, it's quite minor. When Mark got to his goal, we spent some time at maintenance calories to build the skill of maintaining. It wasn't just Mark. I've watched this happen more times than I can count. A man hits the number, then goes back to normal. And if we're being straight with each other, that normal is probably how he ended up needing to diet in the first place. I did it myself the first time I got lean. Months of hard work. I lost 90 pounds. Then slowly and quietly undid all of it because I had no plan for when I came out of the diet. No one really talks about it. The diet ending felt like the finish line, and it wasn't. It was a handover, and I dropped the baton. What actually works is bringing calories up to your predicted maintenance, then adjusting accordingly. Some people reverse diet, and I feel like that's just a waste of time unless you're having some digestive issues as you eat more. The aim is to find the highest calorie intake where your average weight stays stable for at least 14 days. Some clients I put to maintenance calories and they've lost a further 2 to 3 pounds. So we added 5% until we found stability. Of course, you still want to eat high protein during this. Don't just drop it because overall calories are going up. Weigh yourself at least 3 times a week and use the average. A single weigh-in will tell you almost nothing. And be patient with the timeline. If you dieted for 6 months, enjoy the extra calories and don't rush the process. But this isn't a second diet. It's a bit of deliberate attention you need to give your food just before it becomes normal. And what a lot of people leave out is men who lost muscle during the diet tend to regain the most amount of weight afterwards. Losing lean mass makes you hungrier, and your body treats muscle loss as a problem it needs to fix. So it further drives you towards even more food. If you crash diet, lose muscle, and stop lifting, you've made the rebound almost inevitable. There's a study where people were put on 800 calories a day. The group that did resistance training still gained lean mass, even on 800 calories. That's how powerful consistent lifting is when it comes to body composition. And please, don't attempt that. Aim for 2 to 4 sessions a week. Keep protein high and prevent yourself from making this really frustrating mistake. Remember, you're not trying to protect a number, but you're trying to protect what makes that number easy to maintain, and that's muscle. There's a weird thing that happens when you hit your goal. You expect to feel great, and you do, for a bit. But then the target's gone, and suddenly you're just maintaining. It's not so exciting. Now there's no milestone, no specific number to chase, and no finish line. And I remember that feeling clearly. After months of clear weekly progress, suddenly there was nothing to chase. No dopamine hit from that number ticking down. And without realizing it, I started to drift. During a cut, you were saying no constantly. You had a clear goal with visible progress and the novelty of doing something new. That combination is powerful. But you can't run on it indefinitely, and trying to is how most men end up burnt out, resentful of food, and eventually end up abandoning the whole thing. Remember that fear you walked in with, the one when you started it. The what if I gained it all back? It doesn't disappear when you get lean. For a lot of men, it actually becomes louder because now you have something to lose. And maintenance is a different mode. The main shift is learning to say yes sometimes and not treating it as failure. You can have a meal out, a few drinks over the weekend, yet Monday morning you're back to your normal habits and not starting over. Not I've blown it. You're already there. You just pick up where you left off. The men who maintain their habits treat it like a thermostat, not a light switch. If they have a busy week at work, they get their sessions in, they're just shorter. Meal prep drops off a bit and maybe you're a bit more flexible with your meals. But it doesn't go to zero. There's always a flaw. For most of my clients, there are 3 things that stay in place regardless. Protein at every meal, lifting at least twice a week, checking their weekly average in terms of weight. Those 3 cover most of what matters. The other thing I've noticed in men who actually sustain it long term is they're not doing it for the number on a scale. They are being present and physically capable for their kids. Not going the same way as their dad did. Feeling like themselves again rather than just getting through the day. Those motivations don't wear off. I want to get to 185 pounds does. But I have to tell you something about the scale. It will play tricks. One of my clients messaged me at 7 a.m. ready to drop back to 1,800 calories. The weigh-in was the day after a curry. He had gained 3 pounds overnight and was convinced it was all coming undone. It wasn't. That was the extra carbs we added in that hold on to more water within your muscles. You'll almost always get a slight increase in weight and it'll almost level off or drop off. That's not to mention it could also be from the heavy meal the night before, extra salt, a hard training session, or a rough night's sleep. Any of those will move the number. What you're looking for is a trend over weeks, not the number on a Tuesday. You want to track your weekly average weight, how your clothes fit, your strength in the gym, and whether or not your energy is stable. That's obviously important. Those 4 things together tell you far more than the scale does on its own. What you're building is the ability to notice when things are drifting and correct them before it becomes a problem. You don't want to have a meltdown every time the scale moves, but just enough awareness to know why. Your metabolism is not damaged or broken. It's adjustable and it responds to being treated properly. When you put this exit strategy in place, it makes keeping your fat off significantly easier. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and watch this video next. I'll see you there.